Hi, welcome to Medicine with Miss P. This is going to be a quick one because it's actually very late in the day and I just got some disturbing news that is kind of freaking me out. I have to go deal with it. And if you haven't figured out, it's 4th of July. Have we met? It's kind of how I roll. A couple little quick things here, and then I found out some information, so it'll be like half informative and otherwise just silly crap that makes me giggle and saddens me. This patient told us, she put in her thing that she was allergic to hydrochlorothiazide because it depletes her potassium. That's not an allergy, and it's not really a potassium sparing diuretic, so all diuretics that aren't potassium sparing deplete your potassium. And I'm sure it's going to be like, oh no, with me, it does it really quickly. Okay, I'm sure that's true. It's still not an allergy. And guess what? If you're in fluid overload, we're going to give you Lasix. So that's, it's an outpatient surgery center. This is all acute. We don't treat any chronic diseases here. In the actual surgery little box there, this said, I should write it on my little dry erase board, 5-cardia bypass, and you guessed it, under local. I almost want to see that. Not really. I imagine there'd be a lot of screaming, but I'm curious. Another patient, they had their broken finger fixed under an epidural. It's like the cataract surgery under an epidural, but I don't think that's gonna help for anesthesia. I don't think it's gonna reach your finger. And of course, under one of those lines where it says, what can we do to make your stay here better? Keep me safe. That's a great idea. We're going to go ahead and try to do that, but only because you asked. Everybody else, they're on their own. But because you asked, we're going to keep you safe. Very intelligent, educated patient, after speaking to them, they wrote that they had an apondectomy. They had their apone removed. I'm not sure where that is, but that's what they had removed. And then, like always, I said, have you ever had surgery before? And they put in that they had one. I see here that you've had this one surgery. Yes, that's my most recent surgery. Okay, I see that. That's not what the question asked. The question is, list all of your surgeries. There's literally room to put in 50 surgeries. Like, you can just keep on going, and some of them do. She said, no, I just had the one. And upon further questioning, I got 8. 8 surgeries out of a patient who thinks she had just one surgery. I don't make that make sense to me. How does 7 not count? Like, I have 8 horses, and technically, 2 of them are mini, so like they don't really count. But they're still horses. So if someone asks how many do I have, I say 8. I mean, really, 2 are retired, 2 are mini, so technically I really just have 4, but because I can count, the total is actually 8. Like how many surgeries she had, not one. This other patient wrote in that they had a cabbage under sedation, a lumbar fusion under sedation. I get those all the time. Clearly, they just don't understand what that means, and that's fine. One of them under the, how can we make your stay better? Be professional. Okay, I'll try to work on that. I'm not sure what their experience may have been in other places, but we're always professional. And then this sweet little lady, I would swear I was being punked. Like, I'm looking for Ashton, or it was like every TikTok video that's made me laugh out loud. This is not a joke. When you see those videos and patients are like completely butchering the names of their meds, this lady she was so cute, and she did it to my face also. And they never know it's me on the phone. Someone sent me this cute little video where they're like, oh, thank you so much for helping me on the phone this time, because the last person I talked to was so rude. And you're like, yeah, that was me too. Not that it happened to me. I just watched a TikTok video, but they never know that it's me that they talked to on the phone, that I'm here getting them ready for surgery. So she did it to me again. On the phone, she is trying to spell her medications, but she's not even spelling them correctly. So I don't know if she tried to write them down. Sometimes the cataract patients, they can't see for squat. That I get. They're trying to read and they can't. But she was so adamant that it was FOROSMIDE. So I'm typing it in. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, you mean furosemide? I said, it's your diuretic? No, it's FORO. There's no med like that. Nothing's coming up. I'm even Googling it thinking, I don't know every med in the world. It was furosemide. And that was like a good full 3 minutes we wasted on that. And then she said she takes oinapozoid. I'm like, God, do you think she means like a opioid? Or after further questioning, it was omeprazole. And then we get into the metformin dose. I don't know why people can't do math, and I don't ask them to do math until they start really confusing me. We're like, well, I take 3 tablets 2 times a day. No, wait a minute. I take 3 tablets in the morning and 2 tablets at night, and sometimes 1 in the afternoon. I'm like, okay, I don't care about how many tablets you take. Can you just give me a dose? Like, you just tell me the dose, and that's what I'll put in. Well, I take 500 milligrams of metformin. There's no way, but okay. And then, sure enough, after a good 3 or 4 minutes of trying to get some math out of her, she takes 2,500 milligrams of metformin once in the morning and like 2,000 a night or something insane. But they never figure it out, so it's torture. But I haven't been in that department much, so that's the extent of my fun. Now, the other girls that are working in there, they've got some doozies. And one of my coworkers even texted me. She's like, this lady insisted. I have it in my phone, the phone I'm using, but she texted that the lady insisted that she can't take any antihypertensives because her blood pressure goes to 55/90. I'm like, surely she just inverted those numbers, but why would anybody give you antihypertensives if you're not hypertensive? And if you think that one antihypertensive drops you too low, well, we could still give you one. We would just lower the dose. And if you get hypertensive here to an extent that we're concerned about, bleeding or anything, we're going to give you an antihypertensive. And even though if you think you can't take any of them, well, then first of all, you probably don't have hypertension, or you're just very sensitive to some that you've gotten in the past. But we're going to give you one if you need it, just FYI. Okay, so I had to look this up, and I did this a while ago, so I don't know if I'm going to really remember or explain this. That looks like it's not blended well, but I swear it really is. And it's at the end of the day, so I'm going to go wash all this off in about 10 minutes anyway. Okay, so I looked up Kerendia, because it's the ABCs of CKD, and K is for kidney. And in this case, it's also for Kerendia. Okay, so what it says is that it decreases the inflammation of your kidneys. Well, that's great, but why are your kidneys inflamed to begin with? Should you maybe get to the root of that and find out what's wrong with that instead of just trying to decrease that inflammation, where obviously you're just going to maybe consistently balance that out because something else is causing inflammation, like all the sugar and all the poisons that we eat regularly. But okay, then it's for fibrosis. Oh, you mean fibrosis from uncontrolled hypertension for decades? Is that where the fibrosis comes in? It could be other reasons, but we'll just see. Then it's is for MR overactivation. So I was like, okay, clearly have to look that up. Have we met? I got to know, right? So I'm going to continue to Google. So it's a mineralocorticoid receptor overaction. So that's the concern. And it is to help the kidneys, heart, blood vessels, and it blocks aldosterone and cortisol. Oh, you mean like for CHF? Because your heart, your kidneys, your blood vessels, that's CHF. God, I feel like I heard that someplace. Oh yeah, that was last week. So this is like a CHF man in a vain attempt to kind of hide that you've got wild inflammation. Anyway, it blocks sodium reabsorption and increases your potassium. Those are the biggest concerns. And we're like, well, right, so this person already has kidney disease. It's not necessarily a protection, but okay. So it is for, I think in the instructions, it's for it'll cause hypotension, hyponatremia, along with hyperkalemia. It's used to decrease the risk of sustained GFR decline. Now, we could just control the uncontrolled hypertension and maybe some diet and weight loss and watch what we're eating and change our diet, because nutrition is everything. They don't teach that in med school from what I understand, but nutrition is everything. And everything that we're supposed to be eating, from the earth, the clean soil and that sort of thing, but that's obviously not what's happening. We get that. But it is, and there was a bunch of other things in there. It's for chronic kidney disease, especially with non-insulin dependent diabetes. And it's technically what it's called is a non-steroidal MR antagonist. So I don't know about you, but that kind of just sounds like it's a giant rug we're brushing things under instead of finding out what's wrong. But all right, that's that. I have to go on a search for something that apparently I lost, and I'm panicking now. So I'm going to see if I can't go find this thing. Anyway, that's it. I got to run. So enjoy your little 10-minute short. I'm going to try to find out how to do shorts. My son said he'd try to teach me, and I just haven't been able to do it yet. But hopefully he will at some point. So that's it. Face your fears, forget your failures, follow your faith. Love you guys. See you next time.